saying this because I love you. Most people can't figure out how to make it work. You know, you start thinking of stupid things like, well, maybe we don't feed the children, you know? Maybe we sell all the cars. You know, like you really start kind of coming to your wit's end of how do I make this work? It doesn't make any sense. 10%, the tithe, how in the world is that even possible? And all I want to say is this, and this is where it's going to be a little bit hard for you, but just listen. This is such a ironclad system that God put in place. He wants you to understand that it doesn't have anything to do with you making it work. God makes it work. God makes it work. When you do what He told you to do, and you put the tithe first, you give your first fruits back to God, and you do what He's called you to do. And I'm telling you, from years and years of obedience and gratitude and experience, that I have always lived and eat indoors. I have always. I have been able to save for things. I've been able to cover medical expenses when they're nothing and when there's something. Depends on how old you are, right? I've always been able to drive something. My kids, praise God, they're always clothed, right? They always have clothes. And I've been able to go do sports and things. I've been able to have some fun money to be a part of things. We've been able to travel. We've been able to go places on weekends and summer vacations. And I don't know how to tell you, but we spend so much time to make this work. I'm just telling you, God is the one who makes it work. God is the one who makes it work. Maybe you don't have a car that breaks down quite as quickly. Okay? Because again, we don't quite get the fact that the grape's not going to fall from the vine or the insects are going to be guarded from. We don't get that. But listen, maybe the AC doesn't go out right away in your home, right? There's a demon that lives in my car. I promise you, trying to break it all the time. I've prayed over my car so many times. Didn't even know if it was going to make it to church today. Prayed over it this morning. Made it to church, right? Maybe that's the case. Listen, he allowed his people, the Israelite people, he allowed them to wander the desert for 40 years, and their clothes and their shoes never wore out. Now, we don't all want to wear clothes for 40 years. But if God can do that, okay, if we're going to sing the song that He's a way maker and a miracle worker and a promise keeper, how are we not going to trust Him in this? Test Him in this? Understand that God is the one who makes this work. And more to talk about this next week, but seriously, the more I've been doing this in my life and the more examples I can give you of people in our church who have followed in this system and engaged in this system and been obedient with a heart of gratitude, not only does this work, I always end up with a little bit of this. I always end up with more. Why? Because I can give to a mission trip when I need to give to a mission trip. And I'm able to serve locally, needs that need to happen locally. And I'm able to do even more when the church is in need. It's just how God does it. It's just how He makes it work.